All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers, or over 1,000 of you. I felt like, doing that special video to celebrate the occasion. I wanted you to get to know me better. And I thought a fun thing would be to go over the games that made a lasting impression on me, like core gaming memories. Funny now is that we're going to start with an urban planning game, actually, and that is SimCity 2000. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is the first video game I ever remember, like literally, not playing myself, right? I was sitting on my father's lap, if my memory is right, and he would build highways and railroads. And I'm going to play some footage here of SimCity 2000. And if you guys remember that, I mean, graphics were pretty bad, but you had that end farm appeal. You would see like the tiny cars on the highways, and you would see the trains on the railroads, and that was so much fun. Of course, not as nice as the visuals are nowadays with custom assets and stuff in City Skylines, but that is still something that I very, very fondly remember. And I even have memorabilia of the game. Right, now, this is the original, I think 1993 SimCity 2000 box. Yeah, the cool thing is, first of all, the box is f***ing glorious with that skyline right here. And another very, very cool thing, excuse the rumbling here in front of the mic. Do you guys remember video game booklets? Like, look how thick that is. And I would remember reading these booklets while the game would install, or, I would buy a video game in an electronics store, and then my father would drive me back home, and in the backseat I would just read that booklet and be so hyped to finally be able to install the game. And basically, as you can see here, like, that's literally just a tutorial of how the game works, right? I hope the autofocus is okay. Otherwise, I'll just wing it. Right, and yeah, that was basically the first game I remember seeing, or not playing per se, and first urban planning game. Now, next game, Age of Empires 2. So, back then, basically, all the CDs and all the games I had were either cracked or burned, or, I didn't really get them in any legal means as a kid, because, that just wasn't really a thing. Like, parents wouldn't buy you video games, because, that's just a waste of money. Maybe watch TV instead, or just get books. And I remember for a birthday, I got the Age of Empires Conquerors edition as an actual, like, bought object, bought item, bought CD, instead of it just being cracked or burned on a CD. And I think that is the first time my parents and me kind of realized, video games are a form of media that is worth investing money into. And I still think my parents remember the Age of Empires 2 sound bites. I still think if I were to call them up right now, and I did call them up for that video, but for another thing, it's coming up, by the way, they would for sure remember the sound bites. And I would talk so much to them about, like, the campaign and all that stuff. Those were the days, weren't they? Right, next game. Back then, you didn't have much information on the internet, or at least I didn't have, concerning like video games and stuff. You would get your video game information from friends or through like gaming magazines, right? And a friend said, I have this cool new game for my Xbox, come let's play it after school. So we went over to her place, and she had a game called Morrowind on the Xbox, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. And I've never seen an RPG before, and I've never seen a 3D game like that before. And I was so impressed by how vast the world is. And I went the next day and bought a copy for my PC. And so back then, my sister and me shared a PC. Like it was from old parts from my father's like work computers, and whenever he got a new one, he would just leave us the old PC, and we would upgrade as we go and add some more RAM from other older computers and stuff like that. And so we had a shared PC, but my sister and me, we only had like an allowed amount of time to play a game, right? In the beginning it was like half an hour a day, and then an hour a day per person. And the thing we thought we were super clever was we just played one save game in Morrowind. Like, I would play an hour and she would watch, and then we would just switch places, and then it would be my sister's 1 hour that she was allowed to play, and we would just continue the save game. And dude, she was way better than me with all the puzzles. Like, she understood. I thought back then that was super convoluted and complicated, that you needed levitation to enter the Telvanni Towers. I have no idea how she came up with that, but I mean, in the end it turned out to be correct. Right. Oh yeah, by the way, that was also the first time I actually came in contact with video game mods, became aware that they exist. I didn't download any, but I did install I think back then it was called the Elder Scrolls Creation Tool, or something like that. And I had no idea what it did and how it worked, but I was aware that modding is a thing, right? Next game, RuneScape. Again, played that religiously every day after school with my sister. And that was when we had a bit more time allowed in front of the PC, and then we didn't share an account, which is forbidden anyways. But we both had our accounts, and would play together. I would mine ores and give them to her because she was into smithing, and I wanted to do combat, and I needed food, so I would do cooking, and she would just gather cooking ingredients for me, and we would always trade back and forth, and that was pretty cool. That was neat. And I think I played that game from like 2006 onwards. And I mean, I still have an old school account, where I made an old school account when they released RuneScape, like old school servers. And back then, we wanted to get the membership, the RuneScape membership. And back then, PayPal wasn't a thing, or just like sending money for a video game to a foreign country, like you had to send money to the UK. We were so nervous if it actually unlocked the membership thing. That was basically the first time that we realized, there's a community for video games outside of school and like video game magazines, but like online. And there's plenty of other players online, and the first time we were browsing Rune HQ and like websites, and it all started to, go over to web instead of like your immediate friends that you would talk video games about. But yeah, we actually unlocked membership, and the money actually did arrive in the UK. The struggles back then. Nowadays it's just like 2 clicks and you pay for whatever subscription service in video games. Okay, now lastly, as of release of this video, I unlocked channel memberships here on YouTube. It's going to be 3 tiers. First one, pretty simple, just unlock some really cute emojis to use in chats and in comments. By the way, there's going to be more YouTube streams. I really want to do something more than just Twitch streaming. So check that out in the future here on YouTube. Second tier support is going to be early access to my videos 1 week early. I think that's going to be quite the neat perk. And lastly, for tier 3, you'll get a special mention in all of the videos. And thank you for your support, because one thing I'm in dire need of is a phone tripod, because I don't want to rely on like a big pile of books. And as you could see in the beginning of the video, the format was quite off. So I think that's exactly where I need to end the video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers, and see you next time. Bye bye.